What's good, everybody? Welcome to Power After Hours, your favorite power podcast. Jeff J on this side, Krissy Bree on the other. We're here to review, recap, chat about the latest episode of Book 2 Ghost, Season 2, Episode 9, A Fair Fight, with a question mark.
Question mark.
The penultimate episode before the Season 2's finale. And first off, everybody welcome Krissy back better than ever in prom shape. You know what I mean? Ready to go. What was that?
I was going, woohoo! I was cheering for myself.
Woo.
Allow me to cheer for myself, nigga.
Send some cheers in the chat for Miss Krissy. Send some cheers in the chat for her. Some clapping emojis, some fire emojis. You know she's back and ready to go. Before we get into it, I know you were chomping at the bit to talk about last week's explosive episode. Give us your quick thoughts. Everybody wants to know what you thought. So give us your quick thoughts before we get into episode 9.
First of all, let me just say, I tried everything possible to be able to make it last week. My whole family, everyone in my house ended up with COVID. And because of that, I felt like every hour I got worse and worse and worse. And as the day went on, I told Jeff, I'm going to make it. It was 10 a.m. I was like, I'm going to be there. Don't worry. I think it was around 3. I was like, Jeff, yeah, it ain't going to happen. It ain't going to happen. And this episode was so fire last week that I was so pissed off that I wasn't able to talk about it because there were so many great things that did happen. The secret of Monet finally being Zeke's mom came out. Diana with her big ass blabbering mouth, always got to say something. That scene at the table, when I tell y'all I had anxiety the entire episode because I didn't know what was going to happen. I was like, oh my God, is Everett about to fumble the bag again? What's going to happen? Is Drew not going to be able to actually kill this dude? So much happened. But overall, legit one of my favorite power episodes across the platform. It was so good. I can't remember an episode where I literally sat there the entire hour clenching because I didn't know what was about to happen. It was crazy, but I loved it. I thought it was great. I hate that I wasn't able to talk about it with y'all, but I know y'all represented and gave your thoughts. Overall, we knew somebody was finna die. We called that. I mean, it was something that Courtney had said from the beginning that somebody would pass in episode 8. The way it was done, absolutely loved it. I didn't think, I knew Carrie was going to die at some point because she just did too much. And we all know in power, if you do too much, if you know too much, your time is very limited. So, I hate that it had to happen. It was a perfect way for her to die. Unfortunately, she ran into Monet, and Monet did what she had to do so that she wouldn't lose her son, and Carrie ended up dying.
So you do think that she killed her, that Carrie didn't commit suicide?
I do. Because, and the reason I think that now more than ever is because of last night's episode. So, that hint was dropped. So when we talk about last night's episode, of course, I will bring that up. But I do think Monet had something to do with it. She found her in a very vulnerable state where she said she had lost everything. And, she didn't know how she was going to regain herself. So I think Monet had something to do with it. Whether she actually put the string around her neck or whatever, I don't know. She may have influenced Carrie to do it, and she sat there and made sure it got done. But either way, Monet definitely had something to do with it after what I witnessed in last night's episode. But I missed y'all. I'm glad I'm back. I'm not trying to miss no more episodes with y'all because we lit. But yeah, I see a lot of Krissy's backs. I love y'all. Thank y'all so much for checking on me and making sure I was good last week. I got so many DMs, so many messages. I love you guys. I love our community. And with all that being said, let's get into episode 9.
I like it. I like it. Power After Hours, your favorite power podcast. Shout out to everybody in the chat turning up. If you're here with us live, we love you for it. If you're watching on the replay, we love that you're watching too. Definitely get into the comments. We answer those as well. OGs, podcasters, listening to us on audio version. You already know it's love. Get us your questions when you can. Try to join us live. Do something in between. Either way, we appreciate everybody in the Power Fam locking in with us. Let's get into discussion of this episode of Fair Fight. We go in recap mode right now. Your man Tariq was stressed by the demons of his past. You in that dream where he went to class, you saw everybody who either he killed or you could argue he had a hand in the murder, from Professor Reynolds, Kanan, Ray, Lakeisha.
I was like, Keisha, oh my God,
Raina, of course, Raina, Professor Milgram, and Ghost calling him on the phone.
Which I wonder if we will ever get that sequence in full where he will answer that phone call, because you know, we've seen Kanan come back in all forms and talk with, and Kanan was also there, and speak with Tariq about like how to handle things. And just knowing that, you know, they're saying, you know, your dad is on the phone, pick it up. And as that sequence happens, he does wake up, which tells me that like he's not ready to answer that call yet. He's not ready to hear what his father has to say. So I do think at some point that sequence will end up playing out.
Yeah. And for anybody who's hated Tariq over the years, this was a point for y'all, because on screen you saw all the people, you know, Professor Reynolds, Jabari Reynolds, he killed him. Ray, he killed him. And it was funny when Ray come up there and me, he was like, yeah, you killed my sister. And then Raina pops up, yeah, and he wouldn't have did that. You know what I mean? And why did I die, Reek? Why did I die?
She was like, don't put that on me.
Right, exactly. You got Proctor, who he left the door open for Tommy to come in.
Which I forgot about. Right. I forgot about that.
Kanan, he set up. Yeah. Lakeisha was going to snitch on the family. It involved the stuff that was happening with Tariq, and Tasha had to kill her, you know, and Professor Milgram, who he even said, oh, they said your death was a suicide. And he's like, why do you think I killed myself? I wouldn't have killed myself if you, I wouldn't have killed myself if you did X, Y, Z, right? And then the illest part was Lauren coming to the door. He's like, yo, don't go in there. She's like, I'm gonna be all right, but answer the phone when Ghost is trying to blow him up. So that might have been right. Yeah. You know, what we see is that might have been potential foreshadowing for what was going to happen to Laura Born before. But I just thought that was like an ill scene that reinforced a theme throughout this episode, that Tariq has that St. Patrick tragic flaw, which is encompassing other people in their gravity, which opens them up to be killed. Like the what you call it, the orbit around them is so massive and so attractive towards their misfortune, that if you are involved with them, you end up in a situation. You end up in a bad situation. You probably wouldn't normally get into, you know,
which is sad, because Tariq at all points thinks that he has a reason for why these things had to happen, right? Like he feels almost like he's justified in the things that he's done. But at the end of the day, and I think that's what Carrie was trying to say, like, you still have a hand in it. There's still a reason. This is still murder. This is still people, innocent people dying. Like, and I do agree with you that Lauren trying to come through the door was foreshadowing, and you see him trying to save her. And the whole episode, you essentially see him trying to save her. He tries to protect her. He has people, you know, that are coming at him in various ways. He's got Effie telling him, yo, she's a snitch. You know, he's got Brayden telling him to go pick her up. So it's like he trying to keep her safe. And we've seen that happen even with Ghost. As much as he tried to keep Angie safe, at the end of the day, they end up having this tragic fall at your hands, because had they never been involved with you to begin with, they never would have been put in this situation. It sucks.
Yeah. It's spooky times for Mr. Tariq St. Patrick. Let me get shout out to Toxic Key, always showing love on the super chat. Let me get you up. Effie is the best girl and Joe Shiesty for Super Bowl MVP. We definitely gonna talk about Effie. There might be some convergent opinions there, but I also would say, yeah, if you betting on that Super Bowl and you looking for an MVP, he's at the top. If they win, he's winning it. Spoiler alert, he's winning it if they do get MVP. So that phone that was ringing,
yeah,
for Tariq, right? It wasn't Ghost, it was McLean, because McLean wanted to know what the hell Tate had on Tariq. Because Tate was about to be the prosecution's witness. Now, if I remember before in the previous episode, and we've been talking about it here, Tate want his fucking he wants his evidence. He been asking this man low-key for half the season.
The entire season.
And if you think about it, Tate fed up. Tate fed up.
And rightfully so. Can you imagine you know somebody's teasing you, dangling this little ass carrot with you all season, talking about I got something for you that's going to change the trajectory essentially of your life, right? And he not giving him anything to work with. Like, you tell me what it is, but essentially I actually need that bait to make my move. Like, I need the image. And so, you know, he gives Tariq that bottom line. Now, knowing that he's going to be taking the stand, he lets Tariq know, like, let me tell you something. You either going to get me this picture, or I'm sending your ass to prison with this testimony. Like, it essentially, Rashad Tate always gets what he wants in the end, which is something that I've learned with him. Like, he's a little nagging gnat. Like, he won't stop until the only thing I've seen Rashad not get was in Carrie Milgram's pants. And I don't know. Maybe at some time he did, but at this point, that's the only thing that he ain't got. All right.
Yo, yeah, and he ain't gonna get that because Carrie's no longer with us. But
exactly,
this is where you see Tate's plan finally get set into motion, right? Because he has that conversation with Kamal, his brother, who's an investigator for the prosecution. Has that talk with him where Kamal just casually, while they're talking, Kamal casually gets them yeah, exactly. He gets the call from someone who's an eyewitness in the scene, who keeps changing, a drunk eyewitness who keeps changing the story, right? Saying that, okay, she saw one person, now she saw two, but he wasn't really trying to take it seriously, so he just mentioned it in passing. So Tate advises him not to tell the prosecution about it. Keep it to himself. You don't need to do that. Meanwhile, he goes back to talk to Tariq and lets him know, like, I'm going on that stand one way or another. How I operate is on you. So Tariq gets him the picture, and that's when the level of Tate's scheme, his scheme game, is on 1,000. All right, this man, like, he did something that I didn't even see coming. Right, he gets on the stand, basically vouches for Tariq as a good student, and then offers up during the prosecution's questioning, offers up that he's proud of his brother that works with the prosecution.
Unbelievable.
Just says it, and opens the door for Davis to come in and ask him, has your brother shared with you anything about this case? And then he just lets him know, I heard that there might have been a witness, or one or maybe two, but he didn't know. So whatever, which opens the door for a mistrial because they never submitted that evidence during discovery. Because Kamal works for the prosecution, you have to assume that they knew about it and decided to hold it away, because that information would have been favorable to Tariq's case, that someone possibly identified two people at the scene, not one. going for a mistrial, has the prosecution in the chokehold. And then Tate is able to show that picture to Sweetie, thus all but securing the fact that Sweeney's going to have to step down. And now Tate has a direct shot at that congressional seat.
He showed it. He showed it to the head of the DNC, the guy who not Sweeney. He showed the picture to the head of the DNC.
Yes. My bad. Y'all know what I meant. He shows it to Ott, the leader of the DNC, and now Sweeney is gonna have to step down.
It's gonna be a problem. I feel like the only question I do have is I feel like maybe Tate, I don't think knew that saying that it could be two people actually is hurting Tariq and not helping him, because they knew about Kane. They had just enough information. They had brought him up when they originally had that information. So now, while you may be looking at a mistrial for just Tariq, he's not out of the hot water yet, because it was two people, if you want to keep it 100. But
well, that's the thing. It wasn't, because they had the picture of the guy that killed Ramirez, right? Mm-hmm. And it clearly doesn't look like Tariq. So they have the guy that killed Ramirez. Then they have Ramirez's gun at the scene. And if someone is saying that it could be one, it could be two, then you can't automatically assume that the second person is Tariq. You because of the gun connecting the two cases, you have to assume that whoever's in that video is the one who did it. So for Tariq to just be there, I don't know.
But when you're investigating, like as they're starting to investigate the case, you see that once they realize that Kane was in Tariq's room, because they still had that wire from Lauren, which then brings this issue that, you know, he can say he didn't know Kane, but why is Kane in your room? You understand what I'm saying? Like, either way, it was still going to be those two. They had connected those two on some other things when the white detective was talking about some things, when they realized that Kane, Lorenzo Tejada Jr. was Kane, they put two and two together. So I don't think that Tate realizes that actually may end up hurting Tariq a little bit, because now you've got this prosecutor who's going to stop at nothing to make sure she doesn't look like an asshole. You understand? Like, as she's trying this case. So I don't know.
They also didn't know that they got Kane on the wire. He knew that Tariq was on it. He didn't know that they had Kane on the wire.
No, a lot of different moving pieces.
Right.
Yeah.
So from their perspective, they're good because there's nothing else to worry about. That's why the prosecution had one more play, because of the Kane thing. But to Davis and Tariq, it was straight, because you're trying to nab Tariq, right? They also went for a way to like impugn Carrie's question of credibility because of who she was dealing with, right? And it was hilarious how the judge, when Sullivan was asking Tate all these questions to try to rehabilitate Carrie, the judge is like, listen, she was a liberated woman. Nobody here in this courtroom is going to hold that against her. So this line of questioning isn't necessary because her credibility is not in question. And I think
she got the wrong judge.
Right. And I think he also did that because from his perspective, he knew that the suicide could have a negative effect on the jury. It could influence the jury either way. Like, yo, she gave her evidence for all y'all. That's all y'all need to know. She was credible. We're not going to slut shame or try to say just because she had sex with people involved with the case that she's not credible as a person. But that's exactly where Davis was arguing.
Right.
You know what I mean? And going on that angle that it wasn't because you dealt with all of us. It was because of your actions concealing it. If you lied to hide sleeping with Zeke.
Yep.
You
over and over.
Right. You didn't let anybody know. You didn't let the prosecution know that you slept with one of the lead detectives that's been pressing you about this case. You didn't let them know that. And clearly you are attached to Jabari in a way where you want to see justice served. So you have a
And
lot of
Lauren,
conflict
don't
interest.
forget what she did to
And
Lauren.
coercing Lauren, which Davis didn't even bring up.
Right.
Right. But the fact that she did do that, you have a lot of competing interests in this. So maybe you wanted to nab Tariq because you wanted somebody to go down with it, and Zeke had already been caught up for it. So there's enough. That's enough, not even so much for credibility, but for doubt, for planting a seed of doubt in her mind that she could do it, that he could have did it, right?
My question is, who is this drunk ass witness?
I don't know.
Who is the witness, bruh? Like, at some point, they gonna bring. You don't just say that and bring it into a trial to just be like, we'll forget about it. Like, they gonna bring out this drunk witness at some point. They're gonna have to speak with her, and I'm just like wondering, who is it? Like, who is it? Who could it be? I think it's gonna be somebody that we may know. Girl, what if it ends up being his grandma?
Big Mama don't know. But Big Mama gonna tell him that everybody in the family is everybody in the family is a drug dealer.
But I love that. People in the chat were saying Big Mama too. Listen,
no, I see it going up. I see it going up. They crazy. They saying this Big Mama. They saying that Big Mama going to try, and she can't even look. You got to think about everything that's going on, right? And we gonna get to it. Yeah, funny enough, y'all are saying Big Mama. Even the whole point of her doing that would have probably been to get Yaz back. And as Tariq found out, Yaz is already at her new home.
And there's nothing they can do.
Yeah,
she's been adopted.
Celebrating a birthday.
She looked so sad though. She looked so sad. It broke my heart. Like, I think Tariq knows that she's in a better place. He did tell him that the family is a good family. He knows she is in a better place, but I feel like he is disappointed in himself because he feels like he let her down. Right. Like, it's a sad situation all around. She was left with Big Mama, who eventually ended up becoming overwhelmed by the entire situation. She saw a lot of death around her. And nobody in that family ever has really had the chance to actually grieve the death of Raina. I feel like it's just a lot going on. So we may not see Yaz for quite some time. We're going to see Yaz in 8 more years. They're going to do her again. She's going to be a whole 21 years old. But, it's sad, but it's also a good thing. Maybe she'll have a chance to grow up in a normal situation. Like, she's young, so maybe she'll have time to truly grow and not have to worry about the weight of what being a St. Patrick is.
Yeah, I think that was the best for her life and her longevity.
Yeah.
She might have eventually got caught in the crossfire and died. So I think that was the best for her. And I think it's sad. And it's an easy way to write her off.
Yeah.
It's an easy way to write her off and just say, yo, Tasha's in witness protection. That's why, and her witness protection is singing with 3 of her friends and recording on Queen, right?
On Queen.
So that's
ABC.
Right. That is her witness protection plan, right? And now Yaz is with the family. So now she has finally accomplished what Ghost wanted to accomplish with this family from season 1. Mm-hmm. Got her out the game and got her somewhere safe. It's messed up that it's not with family. But you see what happens. Eventually, someone who doesn't deserve it pays the price. So it's great that Yaz is out of there. But speaking of that court case, right? We see how Brayden's arc is performing and whether or not, that question is out there now too. Whether or not Brayden is going to snitch. You were bringing it up before of how there was the Kane aspect of it all was the one thing that that Davis and Tariq, but us as the audience, we know they didn't know about. So now Sullivan's last play, her last play for all of this is to get testimony from someone who knows Tariq that can make it go down. That's when she goes to the West Ends and has that conversation with Brayden and his family to figure out who's snitching.
Oh my God, what a scene that was. Because not only do we have his brother Chase, right?
Yeah.
Who is the ultimate like asshole. Like I just can't stand that dude. Like everything in me wants to beat his ass, right? So this table, they're finding out every little bit of information that they have. And you see Brayden almost shocked that she knows so much, but then also pissed at his brother for dropping the dime. Like I actually had forgot about last season when Kane made them ride around with him to get the drugs. I had forgot all about that aspect. And now knowing that the cop that pulled them over was Ramirez, they got his dash cam imagery where it shows them being taken by Ramirez. It's so much shit that we didn't know about that they had. So now Brayden is essentially backed into a corner. She makes them a deal. Whoever decides to testify, whoever it may be, will get immunity. The question is, we know now based on the previews, it will be Brayden that is taking the stand.
Well,
will Brayden snitch?
He's going to be in there, but is he going to snitch? And shout out to the chat saying that his name is Trace, not Chase.
Trace, thank you. Yeah. I knew it was something like that, y'all.
Same shit. Power After Hours, your favorite power podcast, where Chase will become Trace and become Chase again. That man was offering all the info. He spoke about Kane, the right around, all of that, while Brayden was holding it down. But Trace was like, yo, fuck that guy. He tried to kill us. He had us doing crime in the hood. And meanwhile, the parents are disgusted, right? The father is like, the fuck are y'all? What are y'all doing?
What is wrong with you guys?
Why do you have a prosecutor in here? And they eventually come to, like, once Brayden held it down, then you saw the pictures and it's like, okay, well, he still was ready to hold it down. And the father's like, and this is the rich, powerful talking. What we gotta do?
What we gotta do?
He clearly, he
was like, they did what?
Right. Like, imagine you this rich ass white man, and your son is palling around with drug deal. Like, what do you?
My son works.
Right.
Like it was literally like that situation.
Yeah, he's like, my son boosts.
My son
boosts. This? Like, what am I doing all this for?
Right.
Home. Y'all can have any $1,000. And that was that, going back to the conversation and this continuous conversation that Brayden and Tariq have every week about your family's not really going to be affected the way I would be affected by going to freaking jail. Your family's not going to be affected the same way. And the father's looking at that saying, you don't need to do this. So they eventually cut the deal that if Trace talks, both of them get immunity. Like,
well, she said either one. She said, I don't care who it is.
Yeah. Well, Brayden, yeah. So if either one talks, both of them get immunity. And that's where, they had his father there, they had the lawyer there, and both of them. And the lawyer was like, yo, if either one of them talks, they both got to get immunity. You can't try them. You can't do whatever. And she's like, deal. Because she knows if she don't get this, then it's over. And low key, even if they don't talk, she's not beating them in court.
No.
Because they didn't kill Ramirez.
Nope.
So unless they had enough to arrest Kane, because that's the other part of it, right? She's like, yo, I want someone to go down for this. So if you snitch, if you give up Kane, if you give up Tariq, whichever one, like we good money. We good money. You know what I mean? So that's where I think this idea of whether or not Brayden is actually going to do it and snitch, because he's tight that Tariq gave Tate the picture, right? Asked him not to do it. He broke a trust and a code.
Yeah, he did.
For Tariq,
he did.
Right?
But let's not act like Brayden wasn't behind his back fucking around with Kane half of the season too. Okay?
I mean, yeah, nobody's absolved of shit. Nobody's absolved of shit. Like, they equally were fucking each other over. But he asked him to do something, didn't do it. So I don't know. I'm interested to see what Brayden does with that.
He was walking onto the stand. So I pray in the previews, that's what we saw. We saw him walking in the courtroom to take the stand. So I don't think Brayden is going to snitch in the way that we think. I think Brayden is going to snitch on Kane. I think he may bring up the fact that the whole situation of how the body was exhumed of Ramirez and how it had nothing to do with
Yeah,
Tariq, because
maybe.
she did say, you give me Kane Tahada, like just give me information. So I do think maybe he will get up there and he's gonna tell the story of what Kane did. Kane is in a shitty situation, no matter how you look at it at this point. We learned a lot about him in this episode as well.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Let's go to that. Let's go to that because there's another part of it. He has two parts. Let's go to the first part. Power After Hours, your favorite power podcast. Locking in with us in the chat. Locking in with us on the replay. Locking in with us audio wise on the podcast. Everybody tuned in to the best power podcast on the planet in any part of the multiverse where the Power family gets together, talks everything power, and enjoys ourselves. Let me get in. Dr. Scott, appreciate you for the super chat. Let me get this in before we start off because we need a palate cleanser. Maybe maybe Mecca is related to Symphony.
let's not do this, guys. Let's.
I mean, and you know why that is? We're going to get to why that is funny, Dr. Scott, because maybe he would be the way y'all were talking about Symphony throughout season
Snitch.
one of what is Symphony and Mecca have in common, right?
Snitches gonna snitch together. Snitches gonna snitch. All right.
Right.
Listen.
So let's talk about Effie.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And Lauren and the executive decision that Effie made in this series, right?
Right decision. I get it. I get what she did.
Yeah. So we set this up for you. Tariq, hearing all this stuff, hearing about The Wire, tells Effie about The Wire. Lets her know, like, yo, because Lauren, first off, she still feels guilty about everything that happened.
Right.
And wants to explain herself. In the midst of explaining herself, he lets her know that, yo, they had you on The Wire. Carrie said they were going after Brayden. So I was around Brayden more. And then some dude named Lorenzo was in the room too that we caught on thing. And he was like, what? And how'd he look? Explain to me. He's like, yo, that is Kane Tahada. You have to get out of here. And this is Tariq's experience points cashing in because he knows no matter what the situation, you look like a snitch. So you got to get out of here. Go get into hiding because if he finds out, you're done. Goes and tells all of this to Effie. And Effie's like, yo, she's a fucking rat. She's a snitch. She got to go. And Tariq tells him, like, this is more on me. I put her in this situation. She never wanted to rat. She ain't trying to rat on nobody. She just got caught out there. And it's my fault now. So I got to save her. Now, Effie is in the position where, she's been Miss Hardcore. I don't do feelings. I'm about my business, whatever. But I feel like, she is getting attached to Tariq. She is getting attached a little bit. And she's low-key been the, like, third woman in this trapezoid that he got going on between Diana, Lori, and Effie. And Effie was the original one before she set Tariq up, right? But now she's kind of like, she's had him at arm's length, but they've been spending more time together. So she's hearing about a girl that he's dating or not dating or situation shipped up. That's a snitch. Where before she's like, yeah, Barbie is gonna, Barbie's a snitch. She got to be out of here. She's thinking like, I didn't really care about this girl, but now she can affect Tariq. And Tariq's judgment is probably what is going to get all of them caught up.
Yeah.
So she does something. I didn't see this one. There's a lot of I didn't see coming out of this episode. Another one was her linking up with Kane.
I saw that coming. I
didn't. Well, yeah, you are Miss Cleo then, because I didn't see it coming. Because I thought it was gonna be more so, which is gonna be the question at the end, right? I thought she was gonna take it into her own hands. I didn't think she was gonna force the hand by telling Kane and Kane telling Brayden, you got to get her out of here. It's either her or you. And this is where Brayden's whole street game comes into play. You want it to be real. You want it to be your own businessman. Now you in a business that's claiming you. So what did you think about that, Krissy?
Yeah, overall, I kind of understood. Like I saw Effie going to Kane because the conversation she had with Tariq didn't end in the way that she thought it was going to end in. She tells him, she's a snitch. She's the reason why you're caught up in this to begin with. Like, you need to handle this. You need to take care of it. And with Kane being the other person in this puzzle and knowing how much of a executioner Kane is, taking this information to him made sense because she knew that he would do something about it. Because they're both on that wire. I mean, that is just what it is. So, she took it to the right person. I don't think that she expected Kane to give that task to Brayden. And I think that is why she stepped in, because she knows Brayden is not capable of executing. And I don't know that it's not that Brayden isn't capable. That's just not that's not his seat. That's not what he does. He's not the person that's going to go and handle things with a gun. He's known how to handle things his whole life with money, which is how he handled it. He was willing to give Lauren a bag of money, tell her to get on the nearest bus, disappear. You can't talk to nobody. You can't even chirp like a bird. Just go far away. Mm-hmm. And I never thought that plan was going to work, because we all know Lauren would reach out to, one of her parents, maybe even Tariq, and blow the spot up. Everybody knows when you leave collateral damage alive, it comes back to haunt you. Like, we've seen that happen over and over and over in the Power universe. Mm-hmm. So the only way to get rid of a snitch is to kill them. So Effie steps into the picture and she handles it. Not only does she handle it, she pistol cocks the chick. Like, she knocks her clean the fuck out. And I think Effie's been waiting to do that all fucking season. Like, the way she did it, I was like, oh, sis been holding this in. Like, she been waiting to get rid of Barbie, and it's time. Now, the thing that we don't know how far Effie took it.
Right.
Because
and let us know in the chat. We put it in there. Post it. Do you think Effie killed Lauren? Yes or no, and why? Let us know. You super chat it up. We get you up and we answer too. I don't think she did. I think that she had that guilty look. I'm gonna take the side and say I don't think she did. I think she thought about it. I think maybe she has her in a spot somewhere, but I don't know if she did. I don't know if she did.
She did take that bag of money.
Huh?
She did take that bag of money.
She did take it with her and throw it in the back. So maybe she gave her away, and Brayden's also stupid, because at this point, if you don't think people are going to trail you, you know what I mean? And I was like, okay, you didn't seem all that shocked that Effie pulled up behind you. So what was,
I think he knew. I think a part of him was like, damn, I should have known better. Like, I just should have known better. I think Brayden is very naive, and he doesn't realize how serious this game is. We've seen Tariq tell him over and over, like, bro, like, I can die. Like, I can go to jail. Like, Brayden thinks this is a game. And I think Tariq has even said that to him. You think this is a game, and this is real fucking life. People are dying because of our decisions and the actions of others. So, I think Brayden doesn't necessarily understand the severity of what it means and what he's involved in. And I'm hoping that this gives him some type of light into just how serious it can be. And that also will influence him to make the right decision when he takes the stand next week.
Right. It might be his breaking point, where he's just tired of it and he's ready to get out the game. And he doesn't know that when that game ain't done with you yet, partner. So I don't know if it's gonna be I don't know if it's gonna be that easy, but yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be. I think we're gonna find out a lot. The pacing this season has been really good, where we're not lingering on stuff forever. So this
I think Effie
season
felt
finale.
bad though.
Yeah,
I
whatever
do think
she
she
did,
felt bad. Whatever she did, yeah,
whatever
she
she
felt
did,
bad.
she felt bad. And that dream in the beginning could have been a foreshadow to the
I
future
think
because
she's dead. I do think
mm,
she's. I think Lauren. Me personally, you say she's not. I think she's dead. I think Effie, when she came back in the room, it looked like, damn, like I feel bad. Like I'm falling for this dude. How am I gonna keep this lie up? You understand? Like how? Because eventually he will be looking for Lauren. And what are you gonna tell him? What are you and Brayden gonna tell him? You
exactly.
know?
Exactly. Power After Hours, your favorite power podcast. Shout out Kirsten Williams. Thank you so much for the super chat. I think it's a super sticker. So if you want to comment up, if you got a comment, you want me to put it up, let me know and I'll get you up there. Thank you so much for the support. Thank you so much for the support from the chat. For everybody online, we locking into episode 9, the last before the final episode of the season. A Fair Fight, Power Book 2 Ghost. Yo, these Tejadas though,
Oh my God, they got so much drama,
I'm
bro.
telling you, it's the best Afro Latina Afro Latino
No,
novella I've ever watched in my life. It's like it's
that
like
shit
it's
finna
like
be on.
Telemundo. It's like Telemundo for black folks. It's
I
like
remember
fucking
when, as a kid, we used to watch Telemundo too, because my mom was a big Brazil soccer fan, right? So the only way you could watch those games back in the day was Telemundo. And I remember we'd be waiting for the game, and a novella would be on, and we'd all be like, "What the fuck is going on in this?" But the shit looks so good. They always look so good. You don't know what they saying, but them joints be hitting. So yeah,
yeah.
I'm with it. It definitely is like a novella. I'm with it.
Mighty Soul.
It's always a Marisol in
How
that
could you
joint.
cheat with my baba?
Eduardo.
Word, I've been watching. I'm watching for soccer, but yo, when you watch one, you click and you see the novella, and you gotta lock in, man. It was
Got
just like
to.
this is like the best. Tell you, Power is a telenovela, a Afro Latino telenovela. Whenever the Tejadas are on it, you know what I mean. So let's talk about Good Brother. Talk about Monet. Talk about Good Brother Zeke. Um,
Oh,
so
Jesus, his
now
face. His
now he
face.
knows, right? He knows everything, and he shook up. Thinks his career is in jeopardy, because that's the part that this man cares about the most. So you got him. His life is turned up.
Yeah.
Monet, who now is out of the house, went back. Of course, went back to Dante. Dante opened it up, open
Dante.
arms. Right, Mecca Dante open accept him with open arms, and now he's trying to figure out what we're gonna do, right? Mecca has that conversation with Zeke. Lets him know, yo, we can get you a private coach. We could do all of that. You don't even got to worry about it. You can step away, but you got to talk to Monet, and tells Monet like he wants to talk to me. So he gets the whole lowdown from them, and then they have that conversation. And all our speculation as to why um they let him go. Monet told him, I was 16.
Yeah.
My mom didn't think that he was ready. Then he got caught up. So that kind of confirmed what my mom said. So I just went down south. My sister wanted a kid. So we thought it was good. And as long as I could be your auntie and be close to you, that's what I was going to do. And Zeke wasn't hearing it. Zeke was
how could he?
Still hurt.
How could he? This is not a 10-year-old kid. This is a boy who is, well, we thought 19. We finding out this dude is 23 years old. Not only did you lie to him about who his parents were, you lied to him about his age. Everything about his life is essentially a lie. Like no part of it. Like, and it's just sad. I understand where he's coming from, because now everything that he's worked so hard for is getting thrown in the trash. Like his whole career is essentially null and moot. And it's unfortunate that the decisions of his parents have put him in this, conundrum. No team is going to go after that. It's unfortunate. You like my word? Conundrum.
What they put him in? What they put him in, Krissy? Hold on. What they put him in?
a conundrum.
You need to push your glasses up like this after you use the $1 million words. He said,
thank you. A
on today's
conundrum.
episode, Elbow wants to know what a conundrum is.
You're such an asshole.
Yo, listen, bro. Like, you are okay. Studious. She came back after a week. Galaxy braining on us with the.
That's right, damn it.
With the super vocab. I love it. I love it. I love it. Yeah.
Okay, Eduardo.
All right.
Now back to what I was talking about. Now, so what was I saying? I done forgot. Oh yeah. First of all, Zeke's faces as they were talking to him were driving me nuts. This guy is ridiculous. But I will say I understand where he's coming from. Like, what does he do? Like, he's not going into the draft. There may be some team that will take him on, like Charlotte or something. Like, there's always that team that may come, the Knicks,
the Hawks.
I don't fuck with the Hawks.
Oh, now you're not Georgia. Heard you.
No, I'm from Michigan. I'm a Pistons fan. Anybody, Jeff, you know better. We've had this discussion.
So you're a Pistons fan and a Falcons fan.
I am not a Falcons fan. Fuck the Falcons. I never told you about what happened to me when I worked there.
Oh, nah. That's work for a later period because
fuck the Falcons. But anyway, like I was saying,
whatever to them.
Like I was saying,
big GA.
That's a whole nother. That's a novella for your ass. But like I was saying, yeah, Zeke is done. Like, there's nothing that's gonna, like, I understand Dante was like, we can get you PR, we can spin the story, but it's like, the kid is depleted. He's got no. He's literally like he's 5 again. He's in a situation where he don't know his parents. He don't know what to do. He's stuck. I feel bad for Zeke. I do. He done lost his love, Carrie. He don't got shit.
Right. And now somebody snitched. Somebody leaked his birth certificate thing to the public. Shout out to my good friend Tap who hit me and was like, yo, let me find out you talking to power writers when they get in Bleacher Report alerts about Zeke.
I was like, good job, Jeff.
I howled. I was like, too many worlds are colliding at this point, right? But yeah, his info got leaked. He went to go talk about.
The question is, who leaked it?
That's the question. Who do you think leaked it? And chat, let us know who you think leaked it. If you're watching this after, put it in the comments. Let us know who you think leaked it. Who do y'all think leaked it?
I don't think Lorenzo is savvy enough to do something like that. Like, I feel like this guy is still using a beeper to communicate with his team and stuff. So I don't feel like he's somebody who would leak something. Honestly, I think Dante did it.
Yeah, that's a good theory, because if he doesn't have the NBA to worry about and all he has left is to worry about, all he has left is his new family, then it should be no problem for them.
And that's what he said.
And
he said he's got his family. He's got his mom, his dad, and we can go away to an island. Now, the reason that I picked up on the fact that Monet had something to do with Carrie's death is when they were all sitting there, Monet, Dante, and Zeke, they were having that conversation. And Zeke asked Monet, did you have something to do with Carrie's death? And Monet says, no, like, I got kicked out of the house and I came straight here. When they panned to Dante's face, his face said she was not there.
He was like,
and he covered for her. He said, yeah, I was with her right here in this room. But he looked at her like, bitch, you wasn't here with me.
Right.
Like, so he knew she was lying.
I cover, but you I know you fucking lying.
He knew she was lying.
He loved Monet, bro. He loved
Nene? Oh, Nene
got that man sprung 20, 30, 40 plus years, 30 plus years. He's sprung, bro. Like that man.
She ain't gave him none lately. She ain't gave him nothing. But Nene got that man hard.
His family back, okay? So she definitely lied to him. Then they get shot at on the court. Who knows who that is?
I think it's somebody from Dante's past. Because Now we know. We
Well,
learned a lot.
let's get to that. We're gonna loop that in 1 second. I just want to make sure we touch everything with this. So yeah, he's getting shot at. He's getting shot at in the court. How did we? Yes. So we gonna get to that. So hold that thought that you're saying. I know exactly where you're going with that. Hold that. We're gonna get to that in 1 second. Power After Hours, your favorite power podcast. HFG, thank you for the $3 super sticker. If you got something to say,
Thank
I'll get you.
you.
I'll put up a comment and I'll put it up for you in place of that sticker. Wanted to get to Kirsten, who super chatted us. Power always shows us when someone is killed. They don't normally make us guess whether or not a person is dead. If we haven't seen her body, she's probably not dead. That is a fact. There's not a lot of speculation in Power when somebody dies.
Good
when they're
point.
dead, more often than not, we see it happen.
Valid
or
point.
we'll find the body or something like that. So that's an old trope. No body, no death. So if you haven't seen the body yet, safe to say that she may still be alive. I don't know. It's looking kind of bleak. I ain't gonna hold you, but
it's possible. I mean, hey, you're right, because she has a valid point. We've never guessed about if you're dead or not. Now, I will say, I think there was an episode in Regular Power when Tasha did kill Lakeisha, but we didn't find out she was dead until the next episode.
Right. We heard a shot, but we didn't know who got shot.
Right. So maybe...
right. That's what I'm saying. Like, not to say we don't ever see an off-camera killing, but we find out the result.
Right. Oh, yeah. It doesn't
until we see the body, you cannot confirm.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah. I agree.
Right. Exactly. So in all of that, we have another thing that let's talk about Kane, because that loops into everything that you've been talking about. Dear God. Right? Kane throughout all this, he's one step away from being implicated to murder. He's in the middle of his family drama. He's more or less Mecca's number 2. Told him, like, now that you the number 2, you gotta stay here. And he forces him to give up his print, and was like, yeah, you stay in here. You the number 2. His dad calls him about the re-up, or he calls his dad and tells him, I can't come through and you ain't getting no drugs because we got hit. So I'm going to talk to you later. That further goes into one of the things we were talking about here from last episode. And where you weren't here, Krissy, when we were talking about how Mecca killed Chef when he was staring at Kane.
Yep.
So did that stare mean he knew? He was just showing him that he knew. When he couldn't find his bag, the bag that Drew got and gave up to Tariq, he pulled out on Kane and was like, yo, where's the bag? I know you stole the drugs, but where is the bag? Right?
Like, I let you get away with that shit.
Right.
I let you get away with that.
I let you get away with that shit, but I'm not the bag that I had. So where the fuck is the bag? And Kane is like, yo, I don't know. XYZ's copping mad, please. Mecca locks him in the house and tells him that he has to go, right? And that's when it's like back-to-back revelations, right? When he talks to Monet, because Mecca had put a tracker, of course, in that bag, finds out it's on Stansfield, and he's like, yo, Tariq has it. It's got to be Tariq. So he goes off to go get that, and Kane is basically calling Monet, letting them know, like, hey, cover's blown. Mecca knows. He's going after Tariq. He locked me in here. I got to do something. And at that point, he's already assumed that he's going to die. So he's kind of saying his goodbyes to his mom on the phone, like, yeah, Monet, like, let Drew, let the family know, like, I love him, blah, blah, blah. And Monet's like, hold up. He knows we hit him. He knows we robbed him. And he even mentioned, I think he did mention Monet was in this too. right? He's like, he knows I was involved. He knows you robbed him. He's leaving you in the house
with a phone.
And he hasn't killed you yet. Send me a picture of this nigga, and I'm coming over there right now. Right? That's when she puts 2 and 2 together and knows that Mecca is Dante. Mecca goes to meet Tariq, and here's where you go. You go and cook Krissy about what happens when he meets Tariq.
My God. I mean,
before that, I'll set you up. Kane texts Tariq and said Mecca knows and he's on his way. So Kane what you call it, starts looking through his bag, finds all the passports, then finds the thing, calls up, finds the case file, a case file on him, then calls up Davis to get some research on it, then finds out the explosive info that Krissy's gonna talk to you about right now.
Yeah, bro, a lot happened in that damn scene. First, I was quiet. I had to rewind a couple times because I missed a couple things. But Tariq got some balls on his ass. Let me tell you, because I didn't see him taking this stand. I thought Tariq was going to take that little gadget, Inspector Gadget type shit, and put it somewhere else, put it in somebody else's room. I didn't think he was going to be as ballsy to keep it and then threaten him with the information that he got. So we find out from Davis that essentially Dante is the biggest snitch of all snitches. Like
super snitch. Global
super snitch.
What did he say? A Golden Globe snitch?
Golden Globe snitch. Such a snitch that they put his ass out of the country. They housed him out of the country. That's how big of a fucking snitch that he is. Like, we've seen a lot of things, and I've been waiting for something to pop in from Power. Like, I've been waiting for them to give us a little something. And little do we know, Dante is the one that connects us back to Power with Lobos. Fucking Lobos.
So if you remember...
Yeah, go ahead.
No,
you go ahead.
Okay.
You go ahead.
Okay, forceful. Let me get HFG Power After Hours, your favorite part. Why are you crossing your arms like that?
Because I was a little bit hot at Dante, okay? Not only is you a snitch, so this whole time you've known all about Tariq and his little family. Like, he showed us that he knew every fucking thing about Tariq. Like, no matter how many steps Tariq thought he was in front of Dante and also Kane, they were actually working from way the fuck behind. Like, he knew everything to the point where he tells Tariq, like, your dad did me a solid, like, because he got to Lobo. Like, insane shit.
So making that connection to OG Power, if y'all remember, for those of y'all who watched the original Power, Lobos gets arrested. And he's in like federal custody. And that's when we make the connection that Sandoval, who was working for the DA, who was a Fed working for the DA office, was his mole, was the guy that he had federal people on the payroll. And what Mecca explained was, when we were soldiers of fortune, and it was one thing, you were either doing it as a job, or you were doing it because you were about freedom or whatever. And people could notice when you were more or less a soldier of fortune, hired gun, right? Mercenary. And they would peg you. Once they pegged you, they knew that you had a price. And Lobos was one of those people who knew. And he was the one who gave Lobos up to the feds. And before Lobos could find out, that's when Ghost and Tommy killed him.
Unbelievable.
So in essence, Ghost saved his life and allowed him to be alive around today. And that's what he says. When you see your dad in hell, tell him Mecca said thank you.
In hell.
Which is hilarious, right? So, and even with all that talk, when he was like, he's like, Tariq had all the confidence. Like, I know who you are.
He thought he was big shit.
Yeah, he's like, he was just chilling. He's like, all right. He's like, well, I also know you a Golden Globe. You master informant had to get you out the corner. You like a Golden Globe snitch. And Mecca was ready to press him, but he's like, yo, I want $2 million in an offshore account. And
what do you think he wants that money for? You think he wants it for to pay for attorney fees, or what do you really think he wants that money for?
That's a good question. Why does he asking specifically for $2 million? Is it for the attorney fees? Who knows?
Because it's offshore account. Like, what are you asking for the $2 million for? That's what I would like to know.
Right.
Just saying, there's got to be a reason he asked for it in an offshore account, and for that specific amount. Like, we know Davis be charging him like $500,000 just to, look at a case for him. So I'm just wondering what it is for that. I don't know. I feel like there's something we don't know yet.
Yeah,
that's what I feel.
Yeah, he wanted it on that wanted in that thing. I think it is, and everybody, I see the chatter in the chat about what it's for. If it is for a particular purpose, it has to be for the legal fees. Because at this point, I feel like he owes Davis like the GDP of like 50 countries in the world, right? Like the price just keeps going up and up and up and up.
As it should, man. Tariq got mad problems. And the thing about it is he asked for too low an amount because he don't even know that his product got stolen yet.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, let's talk about that. And Diana put in, you want to talk about Golden Globes, Diana put on a performance to get Tariq, like while Drew was hooking up with Everett to get the key card. Diana put on a performance telling the truth, which is nuts. Telling the truth
she
of
told
everything
the truth
that happened, but put on a performance so that she could get Tariq's QR code so that they can rob the spot, because Lorenzo wants his fucking drugs back.
Get me my drugs
back.
My
drugs.
Today.
Get me my drugs.
We are so bad with Hispanic accents. We are literally talking like they did, like the fake Haitian people and Bad Boys 2.
Oh, no. That's like, you put yourself in a quarter. I'm fluent in Espanol, okay?
You're oh, really? Because I can't tell.
You can't all right. If you want to hit the SAP button, you gonna log out, because I will do the rest of this.
Jeff,
transmitido en español por SAP. I will do the rest of this podcast in Spanish. Mess with me if you want. Let me go to the super chats before Krissy beat me up. Shout out to the good brother Mars. Dante gonna snitch on y'all, Jeff and Krissy. Relax.
Yo, what the fuck we do?
Don't bring that evil on us.
Wow, okay? Don't bring that juju over here. We good people.
See, good
At
brother
least
Mars.
Keep my name out of it. Put Jeff, but don't put my name. I'm good people. Okay.
Wow. Shout out to Roz. Your impressions are top notch, Roz. You are a woman of class and sophistication. I appreciate you. You understand what comedy truly is. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Roz.
Shout out to everybody that contributes. It hits up the super chat. Everybody in the chat, keeping the community going. Y'all are crazy. I'm watching all of y'all in here. Y'all are absolutely
the chat ridiculous. In itself could be
now, they're ridiculous.
Talk show.
They're
like
ridiculous.
Y'all are ridiculous. Like I see what y'all be saying. Whatever. Listen.
Don't be shitting on my British accent. I'm working on it. Okay. Give me 2 years.
I'm British.
No, that wasn't British. So Greenfly said my British accent is way worse. I'm like, yo, give me 2 years. Y'all gonna think I'm fucking your man from Snowfall or
Damson.
Damson. I'm gonna be Damson. I'm gonna go to England for a premiere, and I'm gonna start talking like this, and they're gonna be like, wait.
If you come back talking like that, I will literally.
You're from the States? Yo,
oh my God.
It's you stay over there. You stay in certain countries for a few months.
Yeah, you end up taking it out. Yeah.
You don't even know until you come back.
Yeah, when I lived in New York for a year and some change, I came back talking like I was from up. Let me not even start, because it's been a long time removed, and you're gonna make fun of me. So let's proceed.
Anyway, how does Jeff know Spanish, Big Mama, from episode 1? Whatever, Big Son. Yeah. So
thank you for saying his name right.
Yes, it only took 5 episodes, but I got it. So Mecca comes back. Mecca comes back to the penthouse, confronted by Monet,
Yeah.
confronted by Kane. And they're like, yeah, I know who you are. And I know you. And her even thinking about him thinking ahead. She said, I know you wanted me to come here
Yep.
and confront you like this. You're
Yep.
really trying to force us to be together so that you can have your wish. So if you
Yeah.
want your wish, all right, I want out the game. Kane wants out the game. We got to kill Lorenzo and then we can be on the plane to wherever. And Kane is with it. So now the plan is
Crazy.
to kill Lorenzo, which is where I think the end game aim is. But for me,
He's
right?
overdue. He's overdue, though. I'm
I
sorry.
don't know if that's really the plan. Something tells me low key that Monet and Kane are setting Mecca up.
Oh, they are. They're
I
absolutely.
don't think it's for maybe it's both.
At this point, they have to get ahead of Mecca. He is way too far. And part of me actually thinks that maybe he knows that's the twist in all of this. Like, I really don't know. But I mean, it wouldn't hurt me if Lorenzo died. I don't feel like his character is that pivotal to the point where it's like, oh, I'll be so sad if Lorenzo goes. Like, whatever. It is what it is. Casualty of war.
Because think about it, right? They kill Lorenzo, and then they all take off. What happens to their business? Does it just get left up? Is it kind of like post Caesar, where everybody just breaks up the Republic and then does their own thing? What happens, right? What happens to that? Then Kane is pretty much going to be on the run because the DA are trying to implicate him in a murder. So what? I don't know. I don't feel good about. I didn't feel good about Lorenzo making it, but I really don't feel good about Mecca making it. And I know before people will say, well, they're in the credits for the next season of Ghost, so that has to be they make it. Well, you saw Lala and Jerry Ferrara and all these
I mean,
people.
you saw
Ray
what you
Ray,
call the teacher, not Milgram,
Milgram,
but the dude,
Jabari,
Jabari. We
Jabari
saw
from
him
season
most
one.
of the
He's in here
season.
too. So just because somebody's cast doesn't mean that they're going to be alive.
I have a question.
In the next one. What's up?
Is Kane cast in the next season?
I don't know. I honestly don't look at those because I don't want to get spoiled. I don't
think
look at
it's
it.
Kane.
You think Kane is gonna die?
I think in the preview you see Drew visibly hurt, pissed off, and upset. And I think the only person that he's been like really upset and pissed off with is Kane. Kane always makes fun of him, says he can't pull the trigger, says he can't execute. It would not surprise me if Kane is out of here. That's my wild card.
Okay.
That's my wild card for the season finale.
Okay, your wild card is Kane. Kane is out of here. I don't know if I have a wild card. I would be like if all of the kids make it out, I'm like, I don't know. There's no way to me that Mecca and Lorenzo make it. To me, one of them gotta go, right?
Yeah, one of them has to die. We can't have another season with this shit. But right now, Mecca is the connect. Mecca is the connect.
Does Zeke make it?
Shit, does Everett make it?
Loose ends. No loose ends. Remember? No loose ends. So
but I do wonder, you got to think about it. Like Mecca is the only connect that they have right now, right? So essentially, you take Mecca out, you take over his whatever empire that he runs. I think Kane has learned enough about it where he can essentially take over, and maybe him and Monet end up becoming the one that's in charge of Lorenzo. You know what I mean? Like it could be something like that.
Yeah, kind of like how Tommy, the Lobos wanted Tommy to run the org instead of
Correct. Because at the end of the day, he still needs the product. Lorenzo is going to need the product.
But then I think about Mecca, right? Where's he getting this empire from? If you're a super snitch and you are fed, Like, how did you come back in the game? Are they allowing you to be you because you snitched, or are they supplying you?
That's a good question. Like, how far does his shit go? Is he still snitching?
Right. Right.
Let's keep it 100. Did they put the snitch here to fucking snitch?
You never know.
Like,
You
is he
never know.
snitching on the Tejada organization and everything that he knows? There's a reason he knew so much about Tariq. Like, who is his, like, how does he know so much? Where did he get all of this information? Like, it
But
would
then,
not surprise me if he is the snitch.
right.
And
But then
he's,
I wonder, right? How does he know that Ghost killed Lobos? Because remember, they killed Lobos in like a field, and they were trying to figure it out. I didn't go back and read any recaps that we've done before, 'cause, this is literally years ago. But
yeah,
I can't remember off the top of my head whether or not Ghost killing Lobos was knowledge. Was like
right.
public. It definitely, none of this shit is like public knowledge.
No, no,
But
no.
maybe when Angela was on it for him, like, like when Angela was trying to like get Ghost locked up, maybe leaked it, or whatever the case may be, or put that theory in the air, and then it trickled down, because he is in the Fed, right? So he knows everything that they know about all them cases. So when they come back, how did he know that it was um um how did he know that it was for sure him? Maybe it was speculation, and
Right.
he confirmed it, but that would be something that I would want to ask, like, making that connection between him and Lobos. Where is that thing? Because they could say it like, oh, he killed him. That could be speculation. So I guess he probably was like, yo, there's enough evidence that he killed him, because remember, they were trying to build a case against Ghost for a minute.
Yeah, man, they was
For a
working hard
minute.
too.
Right, right.
I think no, I see somebody asking, does Tariq even know about Lobos? He knew enough that when he said Lobos's name, that Tariq was like, yo, what the fuck? He made a face like, how would you know about Lobos? As we are talking now, a part of me thinks Mecca is a fucking snitch till the day he dies. I think he was put here for a reason, to take down whatever is going on, this whole syndicate. Like, it's only like it's no one's surprised that Lorenzo just gets out at this time, and like everything seems to be lining up for the perfect snitch to come in and shut this whole fucking thing down.
Right.
So I think now that Tariq knows he's a snitch, I think he actually has the one up on him, knowing that information. And it would not surprise me if he was put there to snitch and find out who all needed supply in that area to shut down the drug game in its entirety. So don't put it past Mecca to still be snitching.
Yeah, yeah. I definitely agree with that. I like that there was a little connection. I don't know if y'all saw it, but um, there's been speculation. There was speculation that Mecca or Lorenzo was Ghost's brother, because in one of the early episodes of Power, Tommy asks him about his Spanish brother, and he was like, he's away or something like that. And I saw some clip on Twitter, and I gotta go back and watch the Power to see that Ghost walks by Lorenzo when he's in jail. And it's like a bald-headed dude, and he walks by him, and then Ghost stops and looks up at him. And he says that people were trying to say that that's Lorenzo. I don't know. I would have to like watch the episode again to where he went to jail. But it's just ill how people are trying to put two and two together, and they continue to build upon the legacy of the old Power without having to go to those wells.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I love it. I love it. I'm all about it. And damn, now my brain won't stop thinking. Yeah, I think that nigga's still snitching, yo. I think he's still snitching, and I think it's gonna come back, and they gonna kill his ass. Everybody gonna work together and kill his ass. And I think that at the end of the day, I think there's no going back for Monet with Lorenzo. I don't know that she's able to actually make that work. She didn't seem happy with him anyway. So I think that situation is done. But I do think that she's now also in a fucked up situation with her kids. Like Diana can't be trusted. Like, and I love that Drew brought that to her when he was talking to her. Like, you constantly run your mouth. Like, yeah, you might be telling the truth, but sometimes it's not necessary for everybody to hear that shit. Like, shut up. You can't hold water. Like, she's literally like just babbling all the goddamn time. Shut up. Like, she gets on my nerves. Honestly, I don't like her character. If you really want me to keep it with you, I don't like her. That's just where I'm at. Sorry. If she were to die, I'm okay. What? I said it.
I ain't mad at you. Like, yo, you doing you know, you got your opinions and you do that. And shout out to chat. I see Roz was asking about that clip. I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna find it and put it on the and we'll share it. This looks like an account that be getting snatched. Hold on.
Oh, don't get your shit.
No, it's whatever. Like we not gonna directly post it. We just share it. This person is like obsessed though. They have like 15,000. Actually, you know what? Nah, y'all coming live. Y'all here.
You damn right. I said to hell with her, son. She's not worth my time.
Y'all got the link. I just sent y'all the link on the chat. So go to the live chat. If y'all watching this live, we do live chat replay, so you'll be able to see the link in the chat while it's going on, so that you could go in there. And for the rest of y'all, it's on IG, and just search for it. You'll be able to find it.
Don't do this. A better plot twist would be Mecca being Tariq's uncle. Well, if it is Ghost's brother, he would be his uncle.
Well, I don't think Mecca is. I don't think he is. Like, if he was, he would know. If he knows about Ghost, then he knows, right? Unless, because the feds are gonna tell him that they believe Ghost is James St. Patrick or Tommy, right?
Yeah.
But he said, "I know about your Uncle Tommy and I know about your father Ghost," so he already knows what it is. Yeah. He already knows that Ghost is James St. Patrick. Yeah. So that's just what it is, and he knows the connection. So, you know what I mean? I think that's what it is. All right. So that does it. We're locked in another week. Thank you for joining up with us.
Just remember in the chat, let us know, will Brayden snitch?
Oh, yes. I told about that earlier. We were saying that earlier.
No, I'm just reminding people, we want to see all of your answers. For people that are not watching live, remember, we need your answers in the chat. Do you think Brayden will snitch? Yes or no?
Yeah.
We're also going to put this poll up on Instagram stories. We will put this poll up also on Twitter, but we want to know what your thoughts are.
Yeah. Put that on. Do you think Brayden is snitching on Tariq or the field? And then we'll get it. We'll get that up. And if y'all watching this, put it in the chat. If you watching this afterwards, put it in the comments too. For those of y'all listening on the podcast, come over to the YouTube page, get in the comments, and follow the page while you're at it too. Power After Hours. Follow our YouTube page and get in on the poll as well, so that we can get this going. So that's it for this episode. Another solid episode. I'm enjoying the season. I'm in like I'm in a power group chat with some of my boys where they like nitpick everything that happens in the show. And I tell you, at this point, I think the show is solid. You can nitpick a lot of these shows out here. I think that the writing's gotten way more consistent in season 2. I think they tightened up a lot of things like power related. So I'm enjoying it. I think we're having a good time with it. And if not, like, yo, do not watch the show, man. Like, don't watch anything.
Just don't watch it.
There's too much content out here to hate watch. But I will say, objectively, from watching all the seasons, I think for me, Raising Kanan, and I think all of our community thinks that Raising Kanan is like the number one right now. Like, that's the one that people are the most interested in and the most fire, because they get a clean slate. Right. They get a clean slate to work from, where they are the prequel to a lot of the power stuff, so they don't really have to build, right? And that's where Force comes in. Force in itself is pretty much a clean slate with just Tommy. So how he builds that Chicago world is going
Can't
to be
wait.
interesting to see, with him holding it down by himself, getting into certain shenanigans with all of their players. You know what I
Next
mean?
week.
So
Next
Force is
week.
coming next week. And as a reminder for everybody in the chat, everybody watching afterwards, this week we're going live at, I believe, 10 o'clock. I think it's going to be
Yep.
10 o'clock, right? After book 2 Ghost, after book 4 Force, we're going on, and it's going to be a super show. We're going to talk about the finale, and we're going to talk about Force. So you're getting the daily double. We're getting the daily double. Oh, at the buzzer before we get out of here. Thank you, Trishan,
Yay.
for the
Thank
super
you,
chat.
Trisha.
Ready for Force. Love y'all. Definitely love to everybody that taps in and watches with us. So if you're listening, if you're gonna join us, we're going live after the show's 10 o'clock or whenever Force ends. We're gonna go live there on Sunday night, rocking out with y'all, and we're gonna do that. For those of y'all listening on the listening audio, if you're gonna listen to the podcast, I'll break it up for y'all so that for everybody listening on the pod, so that you'll see that we have book 2 Ghost, and then we'll roll right into Force. So you'll have that if you didn't get one, if you watched one but didn't watch the other, so that way you'll know we're rolling. I won't drop a 2-hour pod on y'all.
Spoiler.
So we'll be good with that. And that's it. Where can they find you on the socials, Krissy?
You can find me at Krissy B. Davis everywhere you search on social media. Where can they find you, Jeff?
I'm at Jeff J Says, all social, Power After Hours, Twitter, Power After Hours, Instagram. And for my Power community, everybody who's been in here locked in, tapped in, you got a lot of people who love this show, a lot of people who actually still watch the show when it airs on Sunday night. Bring them in with you.
Yes.
To this pod. We want to be the after show to both shows tomorrow going on. We want to talk about it all. We want to have a big community. All y'all day ones in the chat, we holding you down. All the day ones on the pod, we holding you down. Everybody else is an open community. We talk about power. We're the best one out. We're the realest one out. So definitely, and the fun. Like, we have a good time here. So we want y'all to join, and we want y'all to bring the people that love power, bring them onto the show so that we could have a dope time. So gonna be tapped in. See y'all Sunday night, Super Sunday night with the season 2 finale, and then one of the most anticipated, probably the most anticipated out of all the books, Force. So I can't wait for it. It's gonna be so fire. So thank you for tapping in. Much love to y'all. Y'all be safe out there, and until next time, we'll catch you later.